Oh, just realized I forgot to turn on a light. Okay. Not that I think that makes much of a difference, but hello everyone. I'm here. Um, how is life? How was your week last week? Hey Nicholas, Vlad, Alden, hello and welcome. Deanna, hello, Shane, Michael. Um, how are you all doing? Uh, Michael, sounds like you're better now. Excellent. Good, good, good. Uh, good. Fully recovered. Good. Ooh, ouch. Hand, foot, mouth disease. That is a nasty one. That is actually nasty. I hear that that is like a rough time. Yeah. Oh, Nicholas, you're working on some Lieberman. Fantastic. Oh, great. Good. Okay, so I did want to address why I did not stream last week. I'm just going to make it really short. I just wanted to help bring attention to um, the war um, between Israel and Palestine. Um, in my opinion, both sides have tragedies. And so my hope is that they can come to um, a peaceful resolution. Um, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that because I don't want to get into like too political stuff. My only hope is that you guys will go and take a look into the situation from both sides, and do what we can to, extend our love to all involved. So, yeah, I just wanted to um, say that, and let's move on with nerdy flute things. So, oh no, Shane, your flute has started making weird clanky noise and your notes are splitting. You might need to get that checked out by a professional flute technician. That does sound like might be something that is out of our scope to fix here. Yeah. So, um, well, I wanted to update you guys on what I have been doing last week. So, I've been sort of um, just working on some videos for you guys. Um, I have started a bit of like a new workflow, and hopefully that will make it so that I can give you guys more content in a way that is still sustainable for me. I was taking more of my voice acting course, which actually turns out to be more so a career kind of career building course for people who are kind of similarly in a like in a similar job as what I do as a content creator, and also like voice acting and stuff like that. So like essentially the job that you have when you're an artist like this is more or less a sort of gig career. And so there's not a lot of guidance out there in terms of how to build your workflow, how to, get work done without burning yourself out, how to get work out consistently, how to just like organize your time, and how to, just deal with a lot of the more the business side of running a type of career like this. And so, yeah, I've just been honestly, I feel like I have a much better idea of the direction that I want my channel to go in, the direction that I want my career to go in, after having taken more of this course. So yeah, if you guys are curious what course that is, it's Josieja's Voice Acting Academy. And I honestly, personally, I just took it as a side thing. Originally, it was not supposed to be like a career, essentially a career counseling course for me. It just happened to do that for me. It's just that voice acting is that thing on the side that I am like interested in, and have been interested for a few years, and decided to take the leap to pay for a course, um, that is taught by a very experienced voice actor. So it's kind of my side thing that I do for fun, and it has turned into this thing that has really helped me figure out how to actually run my career. I mean, it almost feels like it's a little bit late to be figuring out all that stuff. But honestly, I think better late than never, you know? So yeah. Blue Moon, hello and welcome. Yeah, so yeah, Joe Zija is an amazing, amazing guy, and just the stuff that he teaches in that course is well worth probably 3 or 5 times the amount of money that I've paid for this course. Like, I really am so thankful that I even came across his work when years ago, when John and I were playing Fire Emblem Three Houses, and he's the voice of Claude. And that was when we started to kind of loosely follow his video game work, or his well-known video game work. And so, yeah, we found his YouTube channel a few years ago, and he makes these really funny, very funny, snarky videos. His sense of humor is very similar to mine and to John's. So, and then when he launched his course, I had to think about it for a while, because I was like, do I really want to pay, so much money to take a course in something that I see as like a side fun thing that I just want to know about, but yeah, what a wonderful accident to take this course and really make my own career go a lot better. So been working on that, essentially kind of like refiguring out my all of the things that I do, slowly getting it into something that's more something that makes a little bit more sense, something that's honestly just more put together. And yeah, and then because I learned better workflow, I was able to do a lot of editing last week. I reshot a sort of like a reintroduction video to the YouTube video space, just kind of like a very quick life update, and also what to expect for the next few videos. So I filmed that, and I'm very happy with how that came out. The audio is much better. And so I have 2 videos after that already prepared as well. And what I need to do this week is start to get the next few videos going. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. I did not really, being completely honest with you guys, I was so far entrenched in figuring out my career last week that I didn't do practicing. I just did not practice. Anytime I played was for my students. So there you go. That is the update of what I was doing last week while I went dark. But yeah, it is a fantastic course. So again, it's Joe Zija's Voice Acting Academy. I'm so glad that he made a whole course just on the career itself, building the career. There's so much overlap between voice acting and my current career as it is. So like, honestly, it's turned into a bit of like a professional development type of course for me, and I could not be more thankful. Yeah. So if I do any voice acting, it's really just for me, for fun. Honestly, even just the like, the more I learn about the process, the more even just auditioning sounds really fun. So I am planning on doing some on the side for myself. I'm not going to be like making it a huge thing on here, but I figured that since you guys are here watching me practice every day, it's not something I want to hide that I'm doing, but it's just like I want you guys to know that it's not my main gig. It's like that fun thing that you've always wanted to do, you know? And that's, I think, what voice acting is for me. So yeah, Josie just so honest. Yeah, he really is. And I think that's what makes him a great teacher. Like I've just learned so much from his course. But yeah, Kai, hey, are you the Kai that I'm thinking of? Hello and welcome to the stream. Hello, hello. Um, yeah, exactly. Money spent on gaining knowledge and following one's passion and curiosity is never wasted money. Yeah, I think that's what I've really learned. And so I am really just going to take advantage of all his courses and all of the, he's even put together things, templates and stuff for the various things that you need as a voice actor. And, I'm just like, well worth the money, to not have to figure it out myself, and also to have someone guide me through it too. Like, well worth the money. I'm really learning that, but at the same time, I am also glad that I held off on splurging like this for my own curiosity and for my own joy, because like I really feel like I've like followed his career enough, and I've done enough research to know that this is a really, like this is real. Like he's not ripping us off or anything like that. And because you have to be pretty careful with online courses. Like you have to make sure that the person actually knows what they're talking about and they're not just taking your money. Yeah, so I'm really glad that like my research has paid off, that that I really chose something that is truly making me very happy. So yes, Kai. Well, wonderful. I'm very glad that you're here. And now you know a little bit more about me too. So thank you, Michael. That's so sweet of you. Yeah, I guess I'm not really justifying my choices, but at the same time, I feel like I just don't want you guys to freak out and think that I'm doing like a vocational change or anything. I'm not. This is like, it's just that voice acting is something that I've been interested in for a really long time, but I've just never made the leap to look into it more, mostly because I was so focused on developing my career right now, but because I feel like now I really have a good idea of exactly what I want to do. Now I'm much more settled in my career, and so I can finally entertain the things that I've been curious about and the things that I've like just had an interest in. Yeah. So why are intermediate flutes so expensive? Yeah, the cost of the metals. Yeah, as Deanna says, cost of the metals, the labor, because the flutes have really, really tiny parts and very, very, very fragile parts. And so the labor of even putting it together is a lot. So yeah, and it's like it's a fine, fine motor skills type of skill, I guess, that you are paying for. Yeah. So, but yeah. And inflation. Yes, Nicholas is absolutely correct. Inflation absolutely has a huge role in this as well. In terms of how expensive is it to get a flute repadded, it depends on the person repadding your flute, because a lot of the prices, at least from my experience of looking at the general prices out there, it really kind of depends on the cost of living of where the technician is residing. So if the cost of living is not so high, then their prices don't have to be so high. But if the cost of living is very high where they are, then it has to be higher. Otherwise, they can't put bread on the table. In my opinion, from all the technicians that I have worked with, yes, it's very pricey to get your flute fixed, repadded, overhauled, COA'd, etc. However, these technicians are some of the like bluntest, most honest people in the world. And in my experience, they're really not trying to rip you off. They're just trying to put bread on the table. So it's just that the labor that is involved and the materials that are involved in fixing a flute, it's a lot. So if you wanted to kind of like a sneak peek into like what goes on behind the scenes, I did make a video with Phil Unger, the owner of Flute Center, who fixes flutes all day long. And so he fixed my flute one year. And so I did make a video on like flute maintenance. So like literally if you just look up flute maintenance COA, you'll find my video where he goes through how he like takes apart my whole flute and stuff. And very quickly you'll see why it's that expensive. So yeah. Yep. So yeah, unfortunately, the flute industry is, you know, quite expensive. It really is. The cost of the metals is pretty real, man. I mean, like, it's pretty real. Yeah. Oh, is the volume too low? I think we tried that last time. Can I get a few other people oh, Big Vibes. Thank you for changing your username so I can read. That's so sweet of you. Sounds okay. Yeah. Here's the issue, Vlad. If I turn it up higher, it's going to clip. It unfortunately it is not like this microphone that is a lot more forgiving. Okay, yeah, people are saying volume is fine. So I'm sorry, Vlad. Yeah, because I'm looking at like I'm literally looking at the levels of my microphone, and if I turn it up higher, it's going to clip and it's not going to sound good. I'm so sorry. Yeah. You might want to pop on the earphones. Yeah. Thank you, Vlad. I appreciate it, and I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, okay. So Alden, you're asking about like a range of prices. So I have seen as low as $200 for a COA, so a clean oil adjust. But that is because the cost of living of where they lived is very, very low. So they only had to charge 200, but I have seen as high as almost 700. Because again, the cost of living of where those technicians live is very high. Yeah. So I hope you haven't gone deaf, Vlad. Would it be worth getting? So I am not the person that you would ask if it's worth getting a new flute. What you should do is take your flute to an actual flute technician and ask them that question, because they can just like take a look at your flute and be like, they can already kind of estimate how much it would cost you to have your flute fixed up versus just buying a new flute. So yeah, I'm not the person to ask. An actual flute technician in person is the person to ask. Anyway, let's get our flute out and start thinking about practicing. I do agree with Vlad. Never buy a flute without playing it. Because each flute does behave very differently. So you want to see which flute within your price range you can play the easiest. That's really just at bottom line, it's just whichever flute you play the easiest, that one is probably the one for you within your price range. But yeah, generally speaking, if you're wondering if your flute is worth being fixed versus buying a new flute, take your flute to a technician and have them look at it. A lot of times, those kinds of consultations are either very cheap or free. So it's really worth it for you to talk to a professional about it. Yeah. So anyway, you guys keep talking. I'm going to start practicing. There we go. So got to get my mics situated. Got to turn this guy on. Make sure that this is working. Yes, it's working. Perfect. Okay, so we got that going. I need to do this. Okay, so what are we doing first? This is why I have a checklist, because if I don't have a checklist, the practicing ain't happening. Elevator music. Hey, blind guy, welcome back. I see. Okay. So yeah. I think earbuds are the way to go, because like I was listening to my previous streams, and when I get excited, I get loud and it clips and it sounds horrible. So yeah. I think it's better for me to stay on the softer side. And also because like with the flute playing too. Anyway, we are going to commence with the flute playing. So let's do this. Okay. I didn't start the timer. Also, hello, Pauline. How are you doing today? How are you doing? Higher. Okay, so not bad. Oh yeah, no practice for a week. Although I do have a point to say about that, which is like, when you do this for your career, you're more or less playing at least most days, because even if I'm teaching, I'm still demonstrating things, so I'm still playing. So it's not like I didn't touch the flute for a whole week, which I think makes a bigger difference than a lot of people realize. So that's just something to keep in mind about like when you are wondering how professionals just play and sound good just picking up a flute cold. It's probably because they are playing most days, even if they're not technically practicing. So That's true. Time off is just as important as practicing. That is true because some like ideas kind of get right back into your brain. Um okay, here we go. I think that was pretty good. What I'm noticing is I'm not surprised because this morning I was like sneezing randomly and stuff. So I might have a little bit of congestion. And the congestion I feel is causing the roof of my mouth to, like, I think the roof of my mouth is very slightly swollen. And so I feel that every time I'm playing those really high notes, I need to lift the roof of my mouth, you know? So yeah, that I think is what I need to look out for. But let's move on to the next thing on our list here. So we're doing number 10. But let's see, what is the third articulation? So we go from the changing notes down to the bass note. Okay, so we're doing 10, which is A sharps. Cool, cool, cool. You've been prescribed a day off a week by the prof. That's really good. I'm really glad that she's doing that, because it's not unlike working out. Working out, you also have to, like, at the bare minimum, take one day off a week. Even if you're like crazy working out all the time, you have to take a day off a week. And honestly, I think that playing the flute is really not much different. So I agree with Alice. Awesome. Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Okay, low notes are better, but I think I need to, I'm very, very slightly still overblowing those like the most bottom ones. Good on Alice for getting you to not touch your flute on that day. It'll be beefy on its own. Leave them alone. Exactly. Did you hear how beefy that sounded? Because I left them alone. I let it just do its thing, and then it's just, I'm still getting used to that. I'm slightly more used to it now, but like still getting used to it. Yeah. I haven't talked to Miri in a little while. Thank you for reminding me. I hope she's doing well. She seems to be doing well. Okay. what I'm realizing is that I was puffing out a lot of air on my tongue, but my tongue has to be more of like just a release rather than an attack. So that was causing the extra overblowing right at the beginning of the note. Interesting. Okay. Let's do this just because I haven't had enough of this. As written, which is just slurred. Oh, okay. Don't squeeze the flute. I'm still squeezing the flute a bit. I can feel it. You almost have In Dreams worked out. Hey. Oh, that's a classic one for me. Yeah, nice and open now, right? Okay. We're getting there. We're getting used to it. I cannot wait until I'm like fully used to it, but I can definitely tell I'm way better at this than I was 2 weeks ago. So, this is good. This is good. I'm very happy. Okay. We're going to do a little bit of circular breathing, nothing crazy though. Just cuz if I'm being completely honest, I want to I just want to focus a little bit more on the actual flute playing this time. Oh, interesting. If I don't squeeze at all, I'm supporting like crazy. Because I guess it like funnels all of that energy into the support, eh? I will definitely try that. Okay, I'm gonna try it on the on some circular breathing on the flute on a B. We'll see how it goes. Almost. Um, I think I need a little bit more air on the connection between the inhale and the exhale. We'll work on that later though. I just wanted to review it a little bit, but we'll keep going. So we're doing 392 today. Also, let's update this. Okay, cool. So we're doing 392. What the heck is 392? 392. Okay, cool. So here we go. Just catching up with the chat here. Is it weird that you're listening to this while working? I hope not. In fact, I hear that a lot of people do listen to me while working. So I'm happy that I provide enough of like the feeling of safety and comfort that you come to this stream. So thank you. And I hope you're having a good work day so far. Audrey, how are you when you have the chance? How are you doing? Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. We're doing that one again. Okay, so I'm getting like, my mind is split right now between making sure that those low notes, I'm not overblowing them, and like visualizing the actual fingerings on here. So I think what it was that when I was mostly staying down low, the, not overblowing those low notes because there's more low notes in the beginning of this exercise. I feel like that was more of a constant. And so it was easier to kind of keep that in the back of my mind while visualizing it. But then as I got as the range got bigger and bigger, I had to kind of balance two things at the same time. So I kept getting distracted. So it doesn't matter. We'll just do it again. Third time. hung on by a thread there. Halfway through, I remembered to try and think of it in slow-mo, and that definitely helped. Have I heard of Team Recorder? Absolutely. Yes. She did reference my video. I need to actually reach out to her properly. I'm just going to be completely real with you guys. For a long time, I did not feel that I was worthy enough to reach out. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but to provide a little bit more context, I was not the best flutist in my music school. You know, was never that great. I was good enough to be in music school, but I was not particularly fantastic amongst all the flutists. And so I didn't particularly think of myself as a really great flutist. And that's part of the reason why I came up with the name Just Another Flutist. And because I felt like I couldn't market myself as anything beyond just another flutist. And so that really hindered me from reaching out to people because I just did not think I was worth it. And that sounds really sad now that I say that out loud. But I think the fact that I can say it out loud means that I have thought it through, and I don't think that of myself anymore, but it has been a very long process. And so, you know, I realized I should have reached out to her a long time ago. I did comment on one of her videos as well, but like even commenting on one of her videos, I just felt like I wasn't worth the attention, you know? I think it was a lot of imposter syndrome where I felt like if I got to know other people in this space better, that they would find out that I'm a fraud and that I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think that over the last few years, I've been really working on myself, and I now understand that really none of us really know what we're doing. And isn't that actually the fun part though? Like the fun part is the learning part. So, and the fact that I can make a career out of learning, I think is awesome. But that has taken many years of working on myself and improving my sense of self-worth and understanding myself, learning to love myself, you know. Oh, thank you. Let me open that up and I will save that to watch later. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, I have seen this. I have seen this. So for anyone who has not seen that interview, click on that link that Just Another Flute Guy Nicholas put in the chat. It is very worth it. I think in a way, seeing that interview kind of helped me along because I think you shared that with me a long time ago. Yeah. Carol the Oboist, hello and welcome. Welcome back. I believe that I have seen you around here before. But yeah, thank you, you guys, for your really kind words. But you know, I'm done hiding. I'm done like, you know, like hiding my real feelings. And that was my real feeling for a really long time. I think now I've gotten to the point where I realize what I'm actually good at. And I realize I'm good at talking and I'm good at explaining things and I'm good at figuring out flutes, you know? And yeah, I think that now I've really figured that out. I think I'm a lot more confident in just my career, in moving forward and reaching out to people. Thank you. Thank you so much. You guys are so nice. But yeah, it's like I'm just being completely real with you guys. I have not had the best sense of self-worth, especially in the kind of flute space. I really have not had a great sense of self-worth for a very long time. I want to say that maybe the last time that I felt like I was worth something in the flute space was probably when I was, I want to say 14, because there was a highlight of my teenage years then where I got to perform the Hungarian Pastoral Fantasy by Franz Doppler with my youth orchestra. And then right after that, I moved to Vancouver, where I suddenly realized that back in my hometown, I was a big fish in a small pond. And then I moved to Vancouver and became just one of the fish in a very, very large ocean. And yeah, I think in terms of like really gaining my confidence in what I do was probably, I'm gonna be real, okay? Probably in 2023. That's one of the reasons why some of the videos that I have prepared, I just didn't release until now, or very soon, that is, because I feel like 2023 revealed to me what my actual strengths are. And I, because of all of my experiences in 2023 in my career, now I'm able to move forward and be my true self. So don't avoid Vancouver. Don't avoid Vancouver. Go to Vancouver. It honestly, being in Vancouver was probably the reason why my career even exists. Okay. I would not have felt like Just Another Flutist if I didn't go to Vancouver. I would not have learned how much more there is to flute playing if I didn't go to Vancouver. So I am very thankful that I went to Vancouver. Like, I would not be streaming to you guys right now if I did not go to Vancouver. Okay? Like I would not be pursuing this type of thing. I would have no reason to pursue such a career. So, yes, go to Vancouver. There's a lot of flutists in Vancouver and a lot of great flutists to learn from. So, yes, like if not for Vancouver, this would not be happening right now. Absolutely not. So, yeah, I just wanted to be real with you guys that it's been a long time coming. And it's only now that I feel confident enough in myself to be myself in the flute space. Because I feel like that I've been pretty confident in myself in just general content creation. I'm like, yeah, I know that I like this and that I'm good at being entertaining. But in terms of specifically being in the flute space, I have only very recently rebuilt myself. So yeah. Thank you guys. Yeah. Yeah. Those later in school moves do a job on one's self-esteem. Yeah. It definitely, like, I think the other part of it too was some of these feelings are mixed in with a bit of like a culture clash too when I first moved to Vancouver. You know, when you move to a new place when you're a high school student, other high schoolers, they don't mean to be necessarily mean to you, but they will point out everything about you that is different from them. And it really makes you feel like an other. And I have kind of felt like an other since then. Um, there's goods and bads to it, you know, like it's not an entirely bad thing, but you can see that if the effect that it's had on me. So, you know, it's, yes, kids are ruthless. Like what I realize now is that we really were kids. Like 14 years old, 15 years old, you know, your brain is still developing. Nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly normal. Brains are still developing. You know, you say things that you don't necessarily mean, or you say things that are just like right on the front of your mind without thinking about how it comes across to someone else. And that's fine. That's just part of the learning process. That's how you learn how to be a human, you know. But, you know, unfortunately, what can happen from that is someone like me becomes extremely self-conscious. I would say that I'm, compared to a lot of the people that I know, I feel that I'm extremely self-conscious of what I say to other people and how it makes them feel. And I think it's because of that experience, which I don't think is an entirely bad thing, because if anything, that may have been one of the things that has made me become interested in voice acting, because I think you can only be a really good voice actor if you're very conscious about how you come across, you know? And I find the intricacies of how you say things and the words that you say and the inflections that you use to say them, or like different hems and haws that you put in between, is really interesting, how it can affect the meaning of what you say. Yeah, this is just me being a nerd, you know? So I basically turned my trauma into something I'm kind of nerdy about now, you know? Because I don't know if I would have paid attention if not for that experience, you know? Yeah. Oh, oh my goodness, Deanna. So you went from like pretty large school to very small school. Oh, culture shock must have been real. Oh gosh. Yeah, it does a number on you. Like when doing that big of a move, when you're still developing, does a number on you. I'm thankful that it happened to me though, because I would not be the person I am today if not for that experience. But it does a number. Yeah, you couldn't hide. There you go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I feel that. So anyway, I should probably get back to practicing, but now you guys know a little bit more about me. I'm human, just like you. Okay. Now that we've got that off our chest, we're going to continue with some moyes. Hey, Pauline, I'm so glad you're enjoying the flute practice scale book. It's awesome, isn't it? I freaking love it. It's exactly what, like, especially adult students need, like especially returning flute students. So like, let's say you've put the flute down for like 10, 15, 20 years. It's a great book to come back to. Also really great for doublers. That's what I noticed. So like, if essentially it's like if you already have some experience with music, like that book is just made for you. It it's so good. I could sing its praises all day. Yeah. Both Moise and Tatiana, I love both. But right now I was talking about Tatiana. Yeah. It's so good. Lean into the groups of threes. Okay, sounds good. Thank you. I'll do that for the next one. For sure makes it easier. What in particular, what leaning into the threes, what I found makes it easier is it allows you to only have to visualize 3 notes at a time. And that I'm noticing really helps just kind of smooth things out and have things not take you by surprise. Because I think it's easy to get into sort of the groove of these 4 notes over and over. But then once you get into like the higher register, all of the fingerings change. So leaning into the threes, I'm finding, is helping me visualize the actual notes I'm playing rather than just relying on the pattern of 4 notes. Yeah. Yeah. More phrasing, better direction. Because I think it's actually helping me visualize properly. Visualizing properly will like make you play with more phrasing, more direction, more flow. Yeah. It's so easy to get stuck. It's so easy to get stuck in like, oh, I'm just playing 4 notes. I'm just going to keep repeating them. But like, especially if it's going up and down like this, you're actually playing like a bunch of actually very different fingerings. So thank you for that. That was a fantastic tip. So for anyone else who is also working on similar exercises, yeah, lean into the groupings. It never really occurred to me that leaning into the groupings can help so much with visualization. It's good stuff. Thank you. Okay, we will move on. We'll do a little bit of Ibert. Yeah, another tip stolen from the prof. Man, freaking Alice Dade is like MVP here, eh? Oh, right. We need to update what exercise we're doing next. Let's see what we're doing. So we are doing 45 next. Okay, sounds good. Let me write that in. I'm gonna save that and then put this here, 45. Okay, so we're starting from Q61 here in the Ibert. I'm so glad I write this stuff down because Lord knows I would not remember if I did not write it down. Okay, this is working now? Okay, good. So, shall we? So I think I can directly apply that right here because all of these notes are in threes. Okay. Oh gosh. I did not like my tone. I am thinking too much, right? Is that all it is? Okay, we'll do it again. I have a feeling I'm overblowing too, but in slow-mo. Okay. I have a feeling I'm overblowing as well. Like I'm not supporting enough and I'm like overcompensating with blowing more air. Okay. Okay, sorry. I got distracted by a few things. My tongue is really like today. So I think that part is causing the overblowing. So I have to really like lighten up my tongue, make sure it's not like attacking forward. And yeah, I need to stop thinking quite so hard. Yeah, 20% less air. Yeah, that might just be the 20% extra air though, is like my tongue is just going like that. Ugh. Okay. What's more? Oh, slurring everything. Yeah, okay, that's a good idea. Okay. Not enough support going up to the before the F sharp. So I need, or G flat, G flat. Yeah, you waste too much every time. Yeah. So what's happening? Sorry, let me change microphones. So what's happening is I have relied too much on my tongue going for the high notes to come out. And I'm dropping my support before them. That's what I'm really noticing from doing it slurred. Do I feel like I'm dragging? I think so, because I'm slurring. Plenty fast. Okay. It can be slower. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I'll take it. But yeah, so I think, yeah, I'm gonna have to sleep on this because it's probably not going to come out the way I want it right this second. So it might be better tomorrow. But what I'm finding is I am dropping my support because I have relied too much on my tongue being so forceful. Yeah, you compress because you're afraid of being behind. Yeah, I think that's what's happening to me right now. It's always nice to have kind of like a outside perspective. Phantom, hello. This sounds like Ian Clark jumped on a train and ended up in Mario Brothers land. I love it. That is a great image. that is exactly what this sounds like. I have to agree with you. Okay, let's do this. A little better. Okay. Isn't that funny? It feels slow to me. I trust you though. I trust you. Because this is exactly what happens between me and my students. I'm always like, actually go slower. Like go slow to the point that you think you're too slow. And then they actually go like faster and clearer. Aim for the first note of every triplet. Yeah. You do the same. Oh my gosh. The struggle together. Okay. I'm going to try it one more time slurred. And then I'm going to try and do it with the articulations, but not rely on my tongue. I have to rely on my support. I guess it's the same idea as not squeezing your fingers. And then as soon as you don't squeeze your fingers, you support like crazy. I think also if you don't tongue as hard, I might support more too. Maybe. Okay. I dropped my support. Try dues. Okay. All right. We're now going to try very light tongue. So basically to, again, funnel all of that into the support. Yeah, I'll try dudes. We'll try. Where do I talk? It's as I expected. I'm like almost there, but I think I need to sleep on it for a day. It will probably come together tomorrow. Like I have all the right ideas, but it is so hard to put them all into motion at the same time. Oh, okay. I do want to, let's do it slower. I'm just going to do it slower so I have time to think. Now, it would be very funny if that actually sounded like it was in tempo, because to me, that felt really slow. Was that faster? Was that faster? That was actually faster? It felt slow to me. Like, I felt like I was actually going slower. Okay, that is weird, man. That is really weird. Oh, it sounds cleaner. That's probably why. Interesting. So when it's cleaner, it actually sounds slower because there's not as much like fluff in between. That's so weird. Okay. That's a lot to keep in my brain, but we learned some good things. So let's do sort of like a verbal recap, mostly for myself because I am sort of a talker thinker. Okay. So we are lightening up the fingers, channeling that into the support. I need to not drop my support as I'm playing middle register notes. Because I think combined with the fact that I was also tonguing too hard, I thought that I was supporting, but I was not. So I have to keep the support going all the time. Don't drop it, especially through the middle register notes. And then lighten up the tongue as well, so I don't overblow constantly, because there's a lot of tonguing in here. So if I'm constantly like puffing out air while I'm tonguing, then I'm basically constantly overblowing. Okay. All right. And go slower because it'll actually be faster. Okay. Interesting. If it's cleaner, you can hear everything, which will automatically sound faster. That's so interesting. There's some weird things happening here. Like the perception thing is always very like mind-boggling. Yeah. Okay. I know we only worked on a small section today, but I feel like we learned a lot of things that are directly applicable to the rest of this. So we will just put here that next time we will start from 63, because if we start from 63 and we keep going, we're going to run into exactly the same thing by 67. So, okay. It's a good session. We're going to wrap it up with a little bit of Rapid as Wildfires, just for funsies. Oh, lots of tonguing. This is actually a great place to try this out. Okay. little complaints. I definitely still need to get used to this way of playing. I like very much need to get used to it. Everything sounds super clean. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, guys. I was putting to work everything that we talked about. So like there's still a few low notes I was overblowing because like I'm just so used to pushing so much air. And then there's some parts that like my brain got like kind of kinked up, like trying to do slow-mo and then sometimes forgetting to do slow-mo. So like all the parts where I like tripped a little were the parts that I was like, oh, like, you know, like going back to the way I used to play. But no real complaints there. That I think is actually the cleanest I've ever played this before. But like it's just my way of thinking needs to settle in this new like in this new direction of like slow is fast. If it feels slow, then I need to just trust that I'm going fast, you know? So like you guys heard some parts where it like got kind of kinked up because I was like, there's no way, I'm going way too slow. And then I went too fast and then I started to like kink myself up. We are our biggest enemy. Yes. I cannot agree with that more. I definitely feel that. Okay. We do need to clean up because I can see the time and I need to grab some lunch before I teach a lesson. So, wow. That was a really, really productive session. I am very pleased. Really like a lot of these things I was thinking about in the last week. But man, like actually getting like a good session in just feels so good. Let's go back to here. Excellent. There we go. Now you guys can see me cleaning up because guys, please clean up. Always clean up your flute. I mean, I'm going to teach in a bit and I will have to, you know, take my flute out again. However, still worth it to clean your flute. All right. So here we go. Lemonade, welcome back. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Deanna. Thank you, all of you. Yeah, there's still some kinks that I want to work out, but I think it's mostly mental. I am playing in a way that I'm not used to playing. And there's a bit of like, it almost kind of feels like a trust exercise with myself where I feel like I'm going too slow. I feel like I'm not blowing hard enough. But you don't have to blow hard enough. You have to support hard enough. Like my brain is still learning to kind of default to supporting rather than default to blowing harder. But it feels good. This felt great. And yeah, so I look out for my heads up video coming soon. It's a very short video, so but it'll kind of give you guys a sneak peek into the videos that I have prepared for you guys over the next few weeks. And yeah, I'm just very excited to make more content now that I have a better understanding of creative workflow. Yeah, it's just things are really lining up, guys, and I'm really happy. I'm like actually very happy. Yeah, like I just had this amazing kind of career realization late last year, I was just like, I can stop chasing. I'm already doing my dream job. I can stop chasing. Like, I don't have to chase the next big thing. Like, what I really need to work on is I need to work on what I'm currently doing. And I feel like now that I've allowed myself the like brain space to work on what I'm currently doing, it just feels really good. You know? Yes, support is king. It really is amazing what happens when you support yourself instead of blowing hard at the problems. Yeah, in life too, eh? Playing the flute really is a wonderful metaphor for life. So anyway, I really got to get going. So I love you all so very much. Please stay happy, healthy, and safe. If you have the time, I will see you guys here tomorrow again at I don't remember what time. Let me check my own calendar, which, by the way, if you guys want to go to JustAnotherFlutist.com/schedule, you can actually insert my my stream schedule into your calendar if you also use Google Calendar. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be same time, 11 a.m. Pacific. Yeah, so I'm very excited. We're going to work more on this type of thing, and hopefully all these concepts will kind of sink in after today. But yeah, I'm very happy. So I love you all so much. Okay, please take care of yourselves because there's no music without the musician. I will see you guys tomorrow. Mwah, mwah. Love you. See you later.